So, two incidents yesterday. Got a penalty for first lap collision, which gave him 2 starting position penalty, and then another 3-point penalty starting position for his collision, which took out the Russian Olivev in a big way, as they fought out 4th place yesterday. So he will start all alone from the back, 9th in the championship after a 6th and an 8th, and then that spectacular retirement yesterday. But it looks like we are getting ready to go racing, hopefully. The cars are bunching up now, and Tom Dillman holding him in place, Roy Nissany alongside him, or right behind him, Mathieu Vezavier, Aurélien Panis, Louis Delatraz and Rennie Binder. Watch Roy Nissany in that black and gold Lotus in 2nd place. He's the man rule. Oh, and he spins it! Roy Nissany revolves the car. Oh dear, out of 2nd place. So that gives Mathieu Vezavier, Panis, Delatraz and Binder all a leg up. But fortunately, with such a low speed that Nissany dropped no further than, I think, 7th at the moment on the grid, and he is now running again. Yeah, he's being squeezed out a little bit there in 7th place. So it's Dillman, and it's Vezavier, Panis, Delatraz, Binder, then Fittipaldi, and then in 4th, dropping down then as the lights change, then Nissany right behind him in the 20 car. Is Giuseppe Cipriani giving him a hard time. So terrible conditions for racing, as you can see, all feeling their way around. These cars have got 623 horsepower. They're light, the cars. They weigh in at 623 kilos, and they're getting about 445 newton meters of torque. Engines are Gibson V6s, chassis are Dellaras, and the cars have DRS as well, although that is not being allowed at the moment, the wing opening. These wet conditions, they need all the grip they can get. We've got a spinner here. That is the 15 car of Alfonso Celis, the man who's all alone at the back, and here we are, another one as well. Conditions getting worse now. Did those two come together? Rennie Binder from Austria and Celis, they were not particularly, they weren't close together at any stage. So I guess those are separate incidents, so they both dropped towards the back of the field. So Celis Jr., who of course is a Force India test driver this year, and is that the 16 car? That is Tom Dillman. So Dillman goes off. That looked like a self-enforced error, and that, let's have a look again. Well, there is the 23 car going through the picture. That is Mathieu Vezavier. He's got into the lead, yeah, because that was Dillman going off there. Panis right behind him. And the 2 car then of Fittipaldi, finding himself suddenly way up the order. He's in 4th place, his best place this season so far. Cicotto then, and Delatraz. So Dillman, unforced error there. Very lucky, didn't hit the barriers. Car just aquaplaned. Here behind, the battle continues between Nissany, Cipriani and others as they try and sort themselves out around this very, very slippery circuit now. Down the hill then. 26 minutes of racing still left, so we are now on lap 5. The pits are officially open. Anyone wants to stop, make a dive in. Be a good time to do it, because conditions can't get any worse. But if they get slightly better, of course, it could be to your advantage. If you've already made your stop, put some fresh wets on. As we watch Mathieu Vezavier, who inherited that lead, having started 3rd in the race. First of all, it was Nissany who spun himself out of 2nd, and then Tom Dillman in the 16 car take himself off. But look how tippy-toe these guys are, trying to come through the section through turns 10 and 11. The circuit, it's new resurfacing, just proving really, really slippery. Even our cameras are going to get affected now. The rain is getting worse. Fittipaldi and Cicotto, 2 South Americans battling it out. Interestingly though, one of them born in Miami, the other born in Germany. Position switches then. Cicotto gets the jump. Yesterday's winner gets the jump on Fittipaldi. One of racing's most famous names Indy 500 winner, IndyCar winner, Formula 1 world champion. Won just about everything except the Le Mans 24 hours, but bring it on. There's that battle still. Delatraz. Young Louis carrying number 1, 18 years old, from Geneva, and into the pits and goes Dillman. That's a good call by him and by Panis and by Delatraz and by Nissany. So those 4 have peeled off, gone to the pits, leaving Xavier out alone in the red, white and blue Russian coloured SMP car. And Mathieu Xavier, 21 years old, from Limoges. Well, there is the number 8 car of Panis. Remember, they're on, they're done. Tom Dillman is already back into action. They filter back out into the field. Of course, they will drop down the order. So just 4 cars making that call. Dillman, Panis, Delatraz and Nissany. This is someone else going off there. Can hardly see who it is. I think it might... Oh, it's the Japanese car. Yeah, that is the Japanese car of Yu Kanemaru, the Tio Martin car, clattering the barriers, but he seems to be continuing. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Motors TV. This is race 2 of Formula 3.5 V8. As you can see, second time we started under the safety car. The first 4 laps, conditions are so bad. The conditions have got worse again. We've got a couple of cars off. We just saw, before we went to the break, Yu Kanemaru clattering the barriers. He continued, but not so lucky in the 22 car was Brazilian Vitor Baptista, whose car is beached. There it is. And they are just going to recover that car. 19 minutes of the race behind us now, and the race order at this moment is Mathieu Xavier in the 23 car, Johnny Cecotto in the 21 car, and Pietro Fittipaldi in the number 2 car. Those 3 have not yet stopped, and they won't be able to until the safety car comes in. The pits are suspended until then. The 7 car as well, Igor Oludjev, has come right up the order, so this may have well played into the hands of those 4 cars who stopped on lap 6. Dillman, Panis, Delatraz and Nissany. Those 4, of course, not in the top 6 at the moment. None of those top 6 cars have yet made their stop, and Xavier must be cursing himself under his breath as he goes round there. We still have 12 of the original 15 starters running, and in fact 14 starters, because the 15th car, Baitska Visa, she was pushed off the grid. And here we are, showing just how wet it is. These guys then getting ready for their pit stops. They don't want to have to stop in pools of water, but there is standing water around the track, and that is part of the reason the safety car is out, just to see if conditions will ease up a little bit. Unbelievable. Yesterday we had 18 degrees here, lovely, beautiful spring sunshine. Today that temperature has dropped down to 5 degrees, and it's cold, it's wet. I don't think we're going to have snow like we had at Silverstone last weekend, but certainly not pleasant weather for sitting out in the open bleachers. In fact, you can see they're empty. Everyone's huddled up in the grandstands. Big crowd though. Always do here, hugely popular on this circuit, one of the biggest sports attractions in Hungary, amongst many attractions there. Well, we are going to continue behind the safety car for the foreseeable future. They're still picking up that 22 car, Vitro Baptista. That's the RP Motorsport entry. He and Johnny Cecotto both driving for Fabio Pampado's team, based in Piacenza in Italy. They're in the 4 car. That is Roy Nissany, the Israeli driver who learned his craft here, born in Budapest, grew up in Hungary, raced karts here at the Hungaroring. And despite his Zionist nationality, he is a Hungarian speaker, very much at home here. Hans Binder, another man who's almost at home, Renny Binder rather. Renny Binder, of course, from Austria. That's only just across the border from Hungary. is Pietro Fittipaldi, holding third place at the moment. He never expected to be there, but of course he will have to make a pit stop as soon as the safety car goes in, because they're going to be running out of time, and we've just had a message from race control that the pit stop window will not be extended despite this what so far is 6 laps under a safety car, first 4 of the race, and we've had 2 now while these incidents are cleared up through the chicane and at turns 6 and 7. When they first built the circuit it wasn't there, and this is a blindingly fast part of the circuit. Fortunately that's slowed things down a bit now, but a very popular circuit with most drivers, and of course the Hungarians incredibly hospitable. They've got one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Buda one side of the Danube, Pest on the other, but linked together they make an absolutely stunningly beautiful historic city. Of course one time home of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, linked with Vienna. That's your history lesson for tonight. Let's get on with the racing. I think all the drivers are getting very twitchy now. Come on, we want to go racing, guys. But where are Dillman, Panis, Delatraz and Nissany going to pan out in all this? Safety car continues for a third lap. Up front there. From Cecotto, from Fittipaldi, from Binder. Oranchev in 5th place at the moment. Just looking down the race order, I see that Tom Dillman, our poleman and race leader to start with, is currently in 7th place. Panis. So what he's waiting for is for those front running cars to all dive into the pits. He'll then have a go at Panis, see if he can't take 6th place off him, which of course as the others pit would become lead of the race. Cecotto as well. No news yet on the safety car coming in. Let's watch those lights. If those lights go off, we'll know that he's going to be coming in at the end of this lap. Torrential downpour has passed us now. Going through the chicane, turns 6 and 7, so we're halfway around the 4.3 kilometre circuit. 14 turns. See if we get the green at the end of this lap. No, lights are still on the Volvo. Trying to maintain 80 kilometers an hour, very, very difficult in these conditions. And of course, remember, these tyres are getting cold, engines aren't up to temperature, and more particularly the brakes aren't up to their premium temperature. He's coming in the lap, off go the lights. Just a couple more turns. We'll come back to 12, 13 and 14, and we'll be racing again. So it's Matthew Vesavier in the 23 car there, the blue S&P car. Right behind him is Cecotto. Right behind him, Fittipaldi. Behind him, Binder. Matthew Vesavier trying to get some heat into those tyres. Don't do it too quickly. Get heat into the tyres. Brakes, come on, work on it. Anyway, off he goes. Vesavier in the lead of the race. Oh, big twitch from him there. Going very, very wide. Can he hold it? Oh, just. No, he's, again, car is absolutely sliding, and Vesavier are under real pressure now from yesterday's winner, Johnny Cecotto Jr. To come down to turn 1, Vesavier is going to have to be so careful. Remember, he's got cold brakes, cold tyres. Holds it, though. And Mathieu there in control, but not behind him. That's the other of the SMP cars. Down the hill then. There's a car going wide there, and the other SMP car